Speech 2, the parable of the wise man building his house. In our fast-paced world of texting, drive-thrus, and microwaves, we expect things immediately. Our lives always rush from one thing to the next, making decision after decision like robots on overdrive. But how do we take time to think about these decisions? Jesus' parable of the wise man building his house centers on this idea. After diving into the text and seeing its implications of this parable in our everyday lives, we'll be able to more easily see what Jesus was trying to teach us through this message. We all choose our own foundation for life. Whether it's the foundation is able to withstand the storms of life, or have we been in too much of a hurry to build something that won't last? Luke 6:47 through 49 says, "I will show you what it's like when someone comes to me, listens to my teaching, and follows it. It is like a person building a house who digs a deep and lays a foundation of solid rock. When the floodwaters rise and break against the house, it stands firm because it is well built. But anyone who hears and doesn't obey is like a person who builds a house without a foundation. When the floods sweep down against the house, it will collapse into a heap of ruins." A house without a foundation is not a house at all. But as you might have guessed, Jesus wasn't preaching on how to properly build a house. He was symbolizing a person without faith, that when the floods of life come rushing in, crumble. In this parable, Jesus was comparing two groups of people. The first group of people knew a lot about Jesus and put his teachings into their daily lives. They not only heard the message preached, but they also internalized the good news. When these people faced trials of the world, they were able to stand firm because of their faith. Then there's the other group, who has the knowledge but does not put it into their daily lives. Jesus calls these people foolish because they have heard the good news and have refused to follow him. Just because we can't see the foundation doesn't mean it's not important. Just like you could appear to be a Christian and go to church every week and have no faith. And this parable is for all of us who too often rely on ourselves to get through life. People who find strength in their health and well-being only to find out they have cancer with only months left to live. People who neglect their families and spend their kids' childhood in the office only to find out they were expendable by their company. But those who put their trust and foundation in Jesus will not have to ache over a job loss, for they know their place in God's kingdom. They will not have to worry about physical health because it cannot rob you of your spiritual health. They know that the falling home prices in this world don't decrease their value of their home in heaven. This parable shows us that without a proper foundation, we don't stand a chance against the world. In summary, although from the outside both houses look to be the same, when the storms come, the true foundation was revealed. A lot of times we spend so much time fixing the cracks in our lives, and we ought to be spending time stabilizing our foundations. Building a strong foundation is not a project that can be accomplished in a day. It's a lifelong commitment. If we build our lives on the foundations of faith in Jesus, when the inevitable storm comes our way, our lives won't fall to pieces.